I was told to make this video, so I'm going to share with you my Hinge date from hell. And to be honest, at this point, I feel like I need to start making this a series because I really just be going through it. So first off the bat, I naturally think I'm in an episode of Love is Blind because the person that I matched with doesn't have that many pictures, but like the little bit that he did have, like you could just tell that those were old pictures. And so I asked for his Instagram and I saw that he had no post, but he had some tagged photos. And so I checked the tagged photos and I had to go, FBI shit and look up like his pictures, like his most recent one. And there was only one that like you could kind of see his side profile, but like not really. And so I was really just going on a limb here. I'm gonna sit up for this. So then we're talking and we're texting and the banter is good. He's like funny, sarcastic, like it's like right up my alley, right? And I'm like, you know what? Even though I don't fully know what he looks like, I like his personality. So I agreed to go on a date. And he suggested we do dinner and karaoke. Now, I'm not saying I did the smartest thing, but I definitely gave him my address so that he could pick me up and so that we could go together. In my mind, I thought that was a good idea. Don't be like me. Don't be a dumb bitch. So then he picks me up. Like the date, like we talked for about like a week and a half and then we met up. And he picks me up and the karaoke place that he picks is literally an hour away. But before we even get into that, my first impression of him, I was so nervous. I always am nervous when I'm going on a date with someone. So I literally only looked at him for like 5 seconds. And in those 5 seconds, I was like, oh, like he's cute. Like he's pretty cute actually. And so I was like feeling good about it. We get in the car and I like really start to analyze his features. And I'm like, immediately I think, you know what, I'm not like fully into how he looks, but it doesn't matter because I wanted to still like go on the date because I was interested in the like in his personality. So keep that in mind. So we have an hour in this Uber ride, and not Uber ride, in the car ride, and I'm telling myself like, let's get to know each other kind of thing. And so we're asking each other questions and he's asking a lot about my past and my past relationships or past really anything that I had going on with a guy. And so I am being fully transparent and telling him all my business basically, but like not OD, I'm keeping it general. Let's keep in mind that he's also sharing stuff about himself too, so it's not like I'm the only one. So whatever, we get to the place and like I said, I already decided that like looks wise he's not like fully my type, but we get to the restaurant and we order and y'all, so the way that the layout was set up, right, there's like TVs everywhere. So he's asking me a question about like my high school experience and whatever. So I'm telling him and I see that he keeps looking back like constantly because he's looking at the TV, he's looking at the football game. And I'm one of those people like, you need to give your attention to me or I'm gonna feel the type of way. So I immediately was already feeling annoyed about it. So he's not paying attention to me, but he's not fully ignoring me either. Like he can still like jump into the conversation with me. And so I was just like, okay, whatever. And I am by no means funny. I am not like the funniest person ever, but whatever I said had him laughing so loud and so obnoxiously that the servers and the people around literally were stopping to stare at us and to ask if we're okay. Bitch, do you know how loud you need to be in order for the bar tenders and the people at the bar to stop what they're doing to look at you? And I'm sitting here like this, like I'm like, and he is full on cackling. So after that, I immediately was like, nah, like he's really fucking weird. And keep in mind, I am also on my sobriety journey. I am fully sober and definitely feel like it's hard being sober in your 20s, but it's especially hard being sober in your 20s and dating. And so I had already told him that I was sober and that I wasn't planning on drinking. Even though we were still doing karaoke, I wasn't planning on drinking. And he was like, well, if you're sober, then I'm sober. And I was like, you know what, that's actually pretty sweet because you don't have to do that, but you're showing like you're very considerate. We get to the restaurant. Why this man orders 2 beers? And I was just like, fine, whatever. But like in the back of my mind, I'm like, you just said he was gonna be sober, so now you lying. But again, it's whatever. So we're still talking. He's still being fucking loud and laughing like a fucking maniac. And then he gets quiet and he's like in space and into his own thought. And I'm like, what are you thinking about? And he's like, you should drink. I'm like, what? I was like, why? Like, no, I'm okay. I was like, why? And he goes, I just think that you should drink. And I was just like, no, no thanks, I'm all right. Mind you, the minute he said that, I already like, ugh, ick, gross. Like, why would you even say that to me? Like, bitch, what if I had a fucking alcohol problem and you hear you should drink? Like, no one asked you, okay? Genuinely, in that moment, I knew that he was not getting a second date. Now I'm just trying to push to the karaoke part, because now I made it through dinner, and now we were like, okay, let's do karaoke. And I was like praying that this date would go by faster, because it felt like I was in my own personal little hell. So we get to karaoke, and this man, we're singing. At first I'm like, you know what, it's not so bad. Like, he's singing, I'm singing, and we're having a good time. It's whatever. And but he orders 2 soju for himself, and I was like, all right. Meanwhile, I'm fucking parched, I'm dehydrated, I want water. And like, before y'all say, oh, like, you could have asked him or you could have told him, I feel like on a date, like, you should also be considerate of your partner and ask, hey, it's like, do you want something to drink? Water, fucking soda, Sprite, ginger ale, really anything. But he didn't do that. And so I was not gonna be the one to like say, oh, I want a water or I want ginger ale. Like, I was thugging it out, bro. I was raw dogging it. My fucking throat was like, it was hurting. I was choking. So afterwards, we're singing, and out of nowhere he's like, you should freestyle. And I'm like, I don't want to freestyle. Like, I don't know how to freestyle. I don't know how to rap, bitch. I'm not Nicki Minaj. And he goes, like, you should do it though, like, you should try it. And I'm like, how about you do it, and then I will like follow your lead. Like if I see you do it, maybe I can do it. Starts freestyling and he starts rapping, and this man starts rapping about my dating history, about my past. Like, straight up starts saying, Nikki's been heartbroken 3 times and she not over it. Yeah, she's not over it, but she's still bad though. Like, she a baddie though. And I'm like, sir, in what moment do you think that I told you about my past and my history, bitch, my fucking traumas, so that you could rap about it? Like, what? Like, y'all, I had never ever in my life had someone rap about the shit that I've been through. And so he finishes his rap, a 3-minute rap, bro. And he's like, all right, your turn. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to rap. I was like, I don't want to rap about your life, and I don't want to rap about anything that you told me. Literally just go silent. He puts on a song, and I'm like, you're not gonna sing? And he's like, no. And you could just tell he got so sassy. What the fuck is up with this song? So I'm like, all right, so if you're not gonna sing, like, we're just gonna sit here in silence. And he's like, yup. And so we're literally sitting in silence in this karaoke booth, and we're just hearing the beat to this song that I don't even know. And in that moment, bitch, in that moment, I genuinely was like, I miss my ex. I do. I really, in my mind, I was like, because as a shit of a man as he was, there's no way he would have had me sitting in this damn fucking karaoke booth in silence. I was appalled. And so I'm like, all right. And I don't know what to say. I don't even know what to do, bro. Like, I'm literally just sitting in silence because I cannot speak. Man goes, what time you trying to get home? I'm like, not too late. And so he was like, let's do one more song and then we can head out. And I'm like, sure. I'm like, give me an artist and I'll choose the song. So he gives me Nicki Minaj. I'm trying to type it in, and he's sitting with his arms back, you know, like this. And he's just like, Nicki, come into my arms. I was like, what? Like, I pretended I didn't hear. I was like, what? And he's like, come into my arms. Y'all, this shit is gonna need a part 2, but he goes, come into my arms, and I'm like, I'm not affectionate. Like, I had to lie. I didn't want to be in his arms. I don't know what the fuck he's trying to do, bro. All right, that I was like, we're gonna need part 2.
Story time on why I cut off my then best friend of 7 years. And yeah, I actually wrote some things down on a piece of paper so I don't forget to tell y'all. So our friendship started back in like freshman year of high school. It was like second semester, so this had to be around like 2013. I think we had like an English or a math class together, and she was really cool. Like, she had a super outgoing like personality. Like, I was the exact opposite. I was a super introvert, but for some reason we just really got along. So our friendship really stuck around all throughout high school. She would do like little things in high school that would kind of make me raise an eyebrow. Like, whenever we were like walking together, and mind you, she was popular, she was a cheerleader, I totally get it, but like, we would be mid sentence, mid conversation, and she would just dart in the other direction without saying anything. And I always thought that was super weird, because I'm just like, I would never do that to somebody while they're talking. So I overlooked that red flag, and eventually we graduate, and she goes to school like 4 hours away, but she still comes back to see her boyfriend, who lived like 15 minutes from me. So let's just keep that in mind. At the time, I was still living with my parents, and the only time she would come to town or like ask to see me is when she needed like me and my mom to like pick her up from, I think it was a train station or the flyaway, to go take her to her other friend's house. At no other time during her stay there did she come and hang out with me. She just used me for a ride. It was my mom's car. Fast forward, we're like still friends. We still like talking on a somewhat consistent basis. And whenever she would come out here, she would only come out here to see her boyfriend. And she really wouldn't even tell me that she was coming to town. Like, she would accidentally like tell on herself, like during conversation. She's like, "Oh, me and my boyfriend did this and this." I'm like, "Oh, you were just out here? Like, why didn't you say anything? We could have just like hung out." Like, he lives 15 minutes from me, so it's not like you have to go out of your way to come and see me. And mind you, like, we're supposed to be best friends. And it was one specific instance where me and her actually did get the chance to hang out. I had picked her up from her boyfriend's house. We had gone to the mall. We were hanging out. While we were at the mall, it was like two boys. They tried talking to us, but we both brushed it off because we both had boyfriends. There was really nothing to talk about. And then we went to go meet up with both of our boyfriends for lunch. Now, this is like a little bit post-COVID, so you could order food at restaurants, but you really couldn't sit down and eat. So we had to take our food to go, and we were going to go take our food to one of the view spots that we really like to go chill at. On the way to the view, mind you, my boyfriend's driving, I'm sitting in the front seat, and then it's her and her boyfriend in the back seat. She brings up the boys that tried talking to us in the mall, and I don't really like feed into it too much, but like, yeah, they were just trying to talk to both of us, blah blah blah. And this is where it got weird. I get a text from her that she meant to send to her boyfriend, and it said, "Oh, they were really trying to talk to me. They weren't trying to talk to her." I was like, I literally turn around and show her, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's weird. Like, I'm not even trying to hype it up to make it seem like they were trying to talk to either one of us. They tried to talk to both of us. And why does it matter? Like, we have boyfriends. Like, why does it matter who they're trying to talk to? Like, I just thought that was so weird. So that really like killed the vibe after that. And like, I hate to even be confrontational because we're supposed to be best friends. Like, I don't feel like friendships should ever have to be confrontational whatsoever. But that was some weird ass shit, because what can you have just said out loud if you really want to say something? That was weird. So I let that go. And she would occasionally come and tell me like that some people were talking shit about me. I guess like some people or guys or girls from high school we went to. Mind you, like, I wasn't really friends with too many people, so you really had to go out of your way to talk shit about me. And she would tell me, "Oh yeah, somebody's talking shit about you. They said X, Y, and Z." I'm like, "Okay, well, who said it?" "Oh, I can't tell you that." Why? Like, why can you not tell me? Like, are you not my best friend? Because in my head, if you can't tell me who said it, you must have been sitting in there chiming in on it too. Because as my best friend, you would absolutely let me know, because you couldn't have came to my defense. Because if you were in my defense, you would have told me who said it so we could go handle the problem ourselves. Or at least let me stick up for myself and say something to whoever said it. But no, you want to play both sides, and I don't like people who do that shit. So like after that, like our friendship was slowly kind of like coming to an end. Like the conversations became like less and less. It really didn't help that she lived 4 hours away, or went to school 4 hours away. It really didn't help, and it kind of was to the point where I was like, you know what, like the friendship really isn't there. I feel like it's one-sided. At one point I felt like I was one always reaching out. She wouldn't reach out too much. Like the conversation was just dry. I was like, you know what, I'm kind of just gonna leave it alone. And we were having a conversation because at the time, like, I had a nail business, I was doing bottle service, like, and I was working. So I had like 3 incomes at one time, and I was doing pretty good for myself. Like, I had moved out, like, I was really on my own. It was me and my boyfriend at the time. Like, it was just us two, and I was making it work. Like, that's just how I had to do it, and it was cool. And she was like, "Well, you should have just stayed with your parents and stayed, so that way you didn't have to drop out of school." Mind you, she is the one person. If you saw my original pink tote video, she is the only person outside of the people who lived in my house who saw how badly my stepdad had beat me. Because it was one day when me and her were talking, and she was playing, and she like bumped into me, but she bumped into the arm where he peeled the skin off. So I was like, I kind of winced a little bit. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, yeah, no. She's like, "No, like, why are you like wincing like that?" So I showed her like my arm was bandaged up like under my jacket. Like, I showed her the scars, not the scars, but the bruises going all down my leg. She was like, "You need to call the police." And so if you're the one person who saw how abusive my stepdad was, why on earth would you ever suggest staying there? I left so that way I could be subjected to any more abuse. And you're gonna tell me I should have stayed so I can stay in school? Girl, like, did you touch grass at any point in your life? Because I would never suggest you stay in an abusive relationship so you can stay in school. Like, what? I know I should have ended right there. I should have ended the friendship like right then and right there, but I was like, you know what? Like maybe she just doesn't understand like what I'm going through. But now that I'm older, you absolutely understand. Like people know what they're saying, they know what they're doing. And this right here was the straw that essentially brought the camel's back. Me and my boyfriend, we were going through something. We had just broken up, like, and I was just like confiding in her, like, you know, I don't even remember what the conversation really went like, but I was just expressing like, you know, typical relationship problems, and she snapped on me. I don't want to hear about this nigga no more. I was like, wait a minute. I have, whenever you come to me with the problem between you and your relationship, do I ever snap at you and tell you I don't want to hear it? No. I sit there and listen, and we could be sitting here for an hour, and all I'm saying is, while you sit here and vent to me. But when I'm venting to you, now it's a problem. I was like, you know what? I'm good. Because I don't let people talk to me any kind of way. I'm sorry. I grew up with really verbally abusive parents, so that's like a trigger for me. You don't get to yell at me. You don't get to snap at me. That's it. I cut it off, right? Cut it off like a dead limb. And I know I'm not the problem because she's reached out to me multiple times over the years trying to like apologize and like rekindle. And honestly, like I've ignored all her attempts. Like there's nothing left to talk about. We're all adults here. And I have never in my life snapped at any of my friends, no matter how much stress I was under, no matter how tired I was of hearing about their problems. You're my friend. Why would I not want to hear about your problem? This is a safe space for you to come and vent to. I didn't have any other like real sorts of like, I didn't have a mom. I don't have a big sister. I don't have a cousin that I can go to. So low key, she was kind of like she was like my outlet. And I'm gonna be real with you, she got a sprinkle of what the fuck I was really going through. I was really taking everything on the chin and not even really telling anybody my problems. I'm over here talking to you about my relationship problems and you're snapping on me. Yeah, the friendship had to go right then and right there. Like it was done after that. Like she's tried to reach out. I don't have nothing to say. Like, and we're all grown now. This happened like 3 years ago, and I'm cool. Like there's a list, baby. There's a list of egregions. I'm straight.
Story time, y'all. Story time. So I've been talking to this dude for like a month and like a week straight. Right? So when I say like this man been coming to get me every day, we've been around each other every single fucking day, and like it ain't been no breaks, right? So we chilling, we vibing or whatever. We happened to go out to the bar, go kick it and shit like that, go have us some drinks or whatever. And we went back to his crib. So when we went back to his crib, we chilling, we vibing, we played this little game or whatever, and then we end up being super fucking drunk, and y'all know what happened. Like, it's self-explanatory if you've been talking to a motherfucker for a month and a week. It's self-explanatory what the fuck happened. So, more of the story, I'm in his bed, knocked the fuck out. Me and him, we knocked out. When I say we so out, I'm drunk, I'm just knocked out. So, at like 2 o'clock in the morning, y'all, why his bitch come up in the motherfucking house, got the keys to the house and every fucking thing, y'all, come up in the house. So I'm asleep, he sleep, my head wasn't over the covers, but when she turned the light on and she said his name, and I'm like, I know like hell this is not happening to me right now, y'all. Like I know like the fuck hell this is not happening to me right now. Now I got to sit the fuck up because it's finna get real in this bitch. It's finna get real, y'all. Peep this though. So she turned the light on, she say his name. She trying to pull the cover off of me, but I don't got no bottoms on, I just got my shirt on. She trying to pull the covers off of me. So I put the covers over my head. So we playing tug of war. She trying to pull it, I'm pulling it, pull it, or whatever. So I pulled that bitch so motherfucking her body came on the bed. Yeah, bitch, cause now you finna blow me. So he gets out the bed, he say something like, what is you doing, man? What is you doing? She like, this is what you want to do? This is what you doing? This is what you doing or whatever. So she like, I'm finna stab you. What? So I get up because now I'm still drunk and sleepy and shit. So I get up. I put my pants on. He closed the door. He like, me and you tweak. He closed the door. So I put my pants on. So he fucking, no, she like, you protected her. So y'all, I got my pipe, I got my, my protection or whatever. I don't go nowhere without it. But mind y'all, we were so drunk when we came in, I just put my purse on his couch in the living room. So that's where my protection was at, in the fucking purse on the fucking couch in the living room, y'all. While this bitch got me and him in the room, closed door, with knives. Like she motherfucking machete knives at that. So, hold on, y'all. So she got the fucking knives. He coming in she trying to get in the door or whatever. So I'm like, just let her in the door. I'm like, let her in the door. I'm trying to get her to come in the door to go towards him so I can leave out the room and go in the living room towards my protection. Because, baby, I don't even play like that. So she like, y'all, the lady so funny. She like, you in here with her booty on your mouth. Call that man booty mouth. Fuck, you talking sure is ass all in his fucking face, on his mouth, baby. What you mean? But this is the fucking killer. The killer is, no, I did not know that this man had a fucking girlfriend. No, I did not. I'm a woman before anything, and I was in a 7-year relationship, and I've been single for a whole year, so I focused on myself for that whole year. I was not talking to nobody. I wasn't doing no dealings. It was just work and my motherfucking business. I did not care about no nigga. So for me to open up and let you in my life and give you my personal space, that shit hurts a little bit, and it means like something, but you could have been honest and instead of choosing that decision for me, you could have let me choose that for my motherfucking self. But y'all like, comment, and I was gonna say subscribe, but y'all like for part 2.